As much as I like to praise my own defensive skills, and yes, they're pretty good, and I know some people right now are thinking, oh, ego check time, but really that's a big part of fight sports. Knowing what we excel at, knowing the areas that we need to improve on. Defense for me has always been something where I went, oh, I'm pretty good at that. I mean, 45 fights and I've been knocked down less than a handful of times, never left the ring feeling wobbly or with a headache or anything like that. That's pretty darn good. But in spite of all that, yes, I do get hit, and today we're gonna look at a clip where I make a mistake. We're gonna talk about what that mistake is and make sure that you guys don't make the same one. So back in 2014, I was in a contender tournament, which the winner got qualified to fight for this belt. I won the tournament, had to compete 2 times in one night. In the final, I fought Shane Oblansky, big dude.
Oblansky is a big, powerful fighter.
Long arms, hit incredibly hard, and because my guard was not as good as it should have been, I got punished for it. But a quick word from our episode partner before we get to breaking down what went wrong. Moving into 2024, I want to optimize my body. I want to make sure for YouTube content, for fight camp, for my daily workouts, everything is going as well as possible. And that's why I've decided to partner up with Bond Charge. They cover everything from blue light blocking glasses to EMF management to my personal favorite, the infrared sauna blanket. Infrared saunas have so many benefits, all the way from detoxifying the body, helping to burn extra calories, and of course, in my case, trying to reduce stress. And in case you don't already know, an infrared sauna heats your body directly rather than the air around you like a traditional sauna. Plus you don't have to have your head overheating. You can have that sticking out, which is much, much nicer. One of my favorite things about this product is it only takes 1 minute to heat up. You can sit in this for 30 to 40 minutes, feel fantastic. You can do it while reading a book, watching TV, meditation. Really, sky's the limit on getting some positive benefits to your body while getting that relaxing time in. Bond Charge offers free shipping worldwide in rapid time. There are easy returns and exchanges with a 30-day trial, and there's a 12-month warranty on the infrared sauna. This is something, guys, I cannot recommend highly enough if you're looking to optimize your body in 2024. Head over to bondcharge.com/Gabriel Varga and use the promo code Gabriel15 to save 15%. That is BONCHARGE.com/Gabriel Varga. And please keep in mind, guys, that I do have a link in the description below. My defense course, you are now able to sign up on the wait list so that when it comes out, I can email you and let you know exactly when and how you can go about getting it. Just click that link below and you can get yourself on that wait list. So let's check this clip out. Shane comes towards me. I kind of stand my ground. I had room to move backwards. I had room to angle off, but I decided to go stationary. Maybe it was late in the round and I was a little tired. I don't know the exact reason. He comes in, he throws jab, upper, hook. I managed to block all those, but then I just stand completely still and there's no movement. And that's when a straight shot comes down the middle and hits me. That straight snaps my head back and pushes me to the edge of the ring. All I'm able to do is get my hands up and he continually fires. Now, fortunately, I closed my guard up tight enough at that point that nothing devastating landed and I'm able to recompose, but terrible look for the judges. Now, before we get to what I should have done and some corrections that could have been made, let's talk about now how I get my way out of there. I do what I initially should have done. I create a little bit of distance so the punches don't have the same power. And then I start with my hands up, just getting a bit of head movement. And while I usually say that getting slips accomplished with gloves up is dangerous because your head is so much bigger and you can't see as much, it's a lot easier to slip with your hands down here when you're already rattled, as I was, got my head snapped right up. My hands up and just doing some head movement is a great idea. And then from there, I start actually moving my feet with my hands up. So now he has a moving target. So a terrible start to that clip, right? Didn't do a very good job moving my feet, just kind of stood there, blocked some shots, let them come right up the middle, but not a bad way of actually exiting and keeping myself as safe as possible after getting punished. But what should I have done? What was my mistake in the moment here where I went, okay, I blocked 3 shots and then a straight one comes up the middle. Well, I've talked to you guys many times about this on the channel. Hands high is great. Hands high is gonna help you a lot of the time. But high hands with no head movement leaves openings. What do I mean by that? Well, I can go, okay, my hands are up. I'll put a pair of gloves on here. My hands are up and I decide I wanna block all the straight punches. So I put my hands like this, straight punches. They can't fit through, but now look at me from the side. If he throws a big hook, I'm in big trouble. So I decide, okay, I'm gonna cover the sides, and now there's that hole there. You cannot simply put your hands up and do nothing and think that you're gonna be completely impenetrable. It just won't happen. There has to be some movement, and you have to be going, okay, he threw the jab up or hook, but I can't just stand here now. I have to be ready to close that guard and constantly shift hands on the head. If you take away one thing from this episode, it is gonna be that hands have to maneuver across the forehead. We will get into all of this, details on how to actually execute, how to drill it, everything you need to know in the defensive course, and that's why I have that waitlist link down below. But before we wrap up this episode, I want to talk about one other defensive element which I utilized in this fight, which was kind of brought to my attention in the locker room. So as I said, I had a first fight, and then I got to the final in the second fight. After I won my first fight, we went backstage and we watched Shane, who was my opponent in the final, do his semi-final fight. He knocked his opponent down with a massive overhand early on. His opponent rallied, got back up, but he kept getting dummied because he kept his hands like this. And when he tried to block and even do the little shifts, he was still getting caught there. So in that moment, the coaches backstage with me said, okay, Gabriel, we've got to protect the entire portion of your back head from that right hand. Not just the front side, but also the back. So we got to grab and reach. And that grab and reach, when he was throwing big ones at me, like this, it really worked. Yes, it exposes your body, but when somebody goes like this, they're just loading up. They're not going to be like, oh, and switch levels. You know what's coming. And you want to be able to brace for that impact, and you want to be able to cover the entirety of your head, not just small portions with those big punches, because even a small impact with a big punch can still rattle you. So that's why I also like to teach that block there, which again, we will cover in the defensive course, but you can start training that on your own, and then we will get into the detailed specifics when the course launches. So let's call it, everybody. You got to see me make a big technical error in my defense game, but good thing you guys can correct, make sure that you don't make the same mistake as me. As always, guys, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another episode.